So I'm chilling for a little while. Also just the nature of doing politics as content for me is a little icky, but there's certain things that if you have a platform, you need to bring attention to. And I want to bring attention to the fact that across the country at numerous colleges, students are rising up and occupying spaces and creating encampments and protesting and resisting in the name of a free Palestine. For most of them, my understanding is the students are looking for their schools to divest financial interests in Israel. And I just kind of wanted to applaud that. I want to, as always, remind people that real pragmatism, real praxis happens when this camera goes off. I am not the world's most renowned protester or organizer. I've participated in protests in the past, but nothing to the level that what I'm seeing from these children who are putting their futures on the line in terms of like, will they be able to return to the schools? There have been countless arrests, and as I was just alluding to here in Atlanta, like people are willing to give you RICO charges for protesting. They're passing laws across the country that essentially are going to make it illegal to protest. This is also one of the reasons why a project like Cop City is such a problem. Cop City, for those who don't know, is a military police training facility that is planned for the greater area of Atlanta that has been met with resistance from Atlantans pretty much from jump over the last 2 or 3 years. It still has not been built, thankfully, but they're basically circumventing their own laws to get it done, and I don't want to get too much further into it, but I do want to warn you that there's already probably a Cop City near you or one being planned to be near you. And at these places, it's pretty clear that the goal is training the police to deal with these types of resistance efforts. I want to repeat and be very clear, peaceful resistance efforts so that they can continue to use authoritarian tactics and rule to do all the things that YouTube won't let me talk about too tough, because my last video where I mentioned certain activities has been demonetized. So you kind of understand what's happening. And you see the escalation stuff like in real time. Like one of the things, so there's multiple things about what's happening now that both inspire but also scare me. Like I said, participated somewhat in different protests once upon a time, and that was before the surveillance state was at the level it was. That's before the police response was at the level it was. So like I didn't have the type of fear that I know a lot of these young people have right now. But I also recognize a lot of things that I'm seeing like from these young people right now are at a different level than things I saw in my, light dabbling in protests in the past. Specifically the level of organization that they have. And like you see the videos, there's this one amazing video of this random white woman trying to agitate essentially this organized protest group at UCLA.
No, you are free to move. You are free to move. She is free to move.
They're all on one accord. They're all very clear on their protocols, and they deny this woman access. And then she starts crying. It's pretty hilarious. It's really interesting watching essentially white women try to white women other white women. Like there's multiple videos now of like white women doing white women shit to other white women who they see as beneath them because they're agitating for a just cause. So like literally the Karen on the phone talking to police lying about stuff thing has happened. I've seen at least 3 different videos of that basic same thing, which is fascinating to see people. And it's also interesting to hear certain black folks that I'll maybe touch on in a future video trying to wedge this issue way more than necessary. So there's the argument, right, that we're not talking about the Congo, which is something I talked about in a previous video that I won't touch on again because and like that's an issue, but that is not something that should be brought up whenever we're talking about Palestine. Like it shouldn't be this either or energy, especially people who are intruding into the action that people are taking or trying to shame the young black people. Shout out to Think Peace Tribe, who I somehow didn't mention this entire time. Think Peace Tribe, showing you the praxis in between making videos is out here organizing. So you see young African-American, organizers like Think Peace Tribe and some of his peers getting involved, trying to help, being a part of this movement. And then you see people who, and I gotta shout out the brother, his name is Rennie Toure. He made a comment that I definitely agreed with, that like any black person that's telling you, that's like saying like, why didn't these people organize when black folks were resistant to is probably not someone who's actually ever tried to organize or worked in resistance efforts or black liberation. Like if you are trying to make this the Black Liberation Front activity, you're probably an op, possibly even a cop. Just keep it real. The thing, what